What's up everyone? If you're new to the channel then welcome, otherwise welcome back. Today I'm going to be continuing our little mini-series introducing each and every one of our snakes by introducing you to my girl Sivir, the Leopard Pastel Het Desert Ghost female. So we actually bought Sivy from a guy called Liam who works for Wild Racks. If you live or visit the UK very often and you're into reptiles, Wild Racks is probably a name that you're familiar with, and they do have their own YouTube channel. So if you're looking for some more snake content, then do check them out. They're a great organisation and yeah, really good buying experience from them, so would definitely highly rate them. So when we bought Sivir, unfortunately Liam didn't have the breeder records from the person that originally hatched Sivir. So my understanding is that Sivir actually originally came from Gavin over at Balls to You, and again, if you live or visit the UK very often, Balls to You is a name that you will definitely have heard of if you pay any attention to the kind of the reptile hobby. He's one of the really big names out there. So apparently Sivir actually came from Gavin at some point in her past. Not sure if he actually hatched her out. But when we actually got her, she weighed just over 400 grams. And as of right now, she weighs just over 800 grams.
Right, and Sivir coming in. Wow, she's had some fantastic weight gain this month. 823.0.
So she's putting on weight really, really nicely. That is after a bit of a rocky start, however. So when we first got Sivir, she actually pounded the first rat that we offered her, but then went on a bit of a hunger strike for a month. After that month, however, I actually managed to break her fast by offering her an African soft fur, which is just a different type of rat. And since then, she's eaten regular rats absolutely fine every single time she's been offered. Now, as far as temperament goes, Sivir never had a hiss, never had a bite, never had anything like that. She's always been super friendly, and as you can see now, another very curious snake, and just an absolute sweetheart, honestly. Now, as far as genes actually go, Sivir does contain the pastel gene, which you'll have seen in both Sidrani and Seraphine, who are both super pastels. She has the leopard gene, and it's the leopard gene that actually contributes to this gorgeous kind of splotchy pattern that you can see. So again, kind of thinking back to a regular wild type ball python or royal python, they typically have these alien heads, and you can see that the alien heads on Sivir are completely blown out, and they look a lot more like leopard patches as opposed to alien heads. And finally, Sivir is also het for the Desert Ghost gene, which, as mentioned in previous videos, is a gene which acts to brighten and clean up the pattern on snakes and really brings another level of just definition and contrast. So one of the reasons why I was really excited to get Sivir is because leopard is commonly thought of as a bit of a darkening gene, so it makes these blacks a really deep, rich black. And Desert Ghost, kind of on the other side of things, is a gene that typically brightens, but the way that it tends to do that is that it will leave dark colours dark and will make light colours lighter, and it's in doing that it actually achieves this increased contrast. So I really wanted Leopard to be part of my Axanthic project, to try and keep those blacks as black as possible, and then using other genes like Pastel, Desert Ghost, Fire to actually then brighten the whites and take that contrast the next step further. Now, I don't expect that Sivir will actually be ready to join our breeding program or have a boyfriend this season. She's just a little bit too far from the kind of weight and body condition that I would really want her to have before pairing her with a male. That said, next season, when hopefully she will be ready to start breeding, my hope is for her boyfriend to be Scion, who is our Fire Pinstripe Desert Ghost visual male. So, as with all recessives, Desert Ghost is a recessive, and it requires 2 copies of the Desert Ghost gene in order to actually have a visual presence in a royal python. So my hope is that by pairing Sivir with Scion, we've got the genes that we have in the mix are going to be Pastel, Fire, Leopard, Pinstripe, and then Desert Ghost. So if we're lucky, we could potentially hit all of those in one animal. But honestly, any kind of Leopard Desert Ghost combo is really what I'm going to be shooting for at that stage, just so we can then start putting the Leopard Desert Ghost into an Axanthic combo. So, as with all of our breeder females and males that we plan on keeping in the long term, we do keep Sivir in a vivarium, which is 4 foot long by 18 inches and 18 inches. And we try and keep every vivarium just a little bit different from the last. So Sivir's is actually probably one of the more different vivariums, because we've gone for kind of a Aztec tiki kind of vibe for her enclosure. So let's check it out. So over on the right hand side here, we do have just a nice hide that has some moss inside. You can just see some traces of it there. So this is the cool side of her tank, and that tends to be the hide that we use as her humid hide. So there's a nice large water ball there that's large enough for her to actually bathe in, with a bit of a tube. There's a bit of clutter just there on the back side of the tank. Bit of a tiki ornament in the middle, and then over on the left we have a cork tube, a second smaller water bowl to help humidity levels in the enclosure, and another hide just on the warm end of the tank so that she can choose warm or cool and help thermoregulate herself. Alright guys, that's it for this video. Thanks for tuning in. So this is actually the 4th video of the series, and we've got one more female royal python left to go. Then we're going to move on to the 2 male royal pythons that we have as breeders, and we'll then move on to actually introducing some of our corn snakes as well. This is like the 3rd time of trying to record this outro, so I'm just going to keep it short and sweet. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Please do share this video with your friends. Don't forget to, oh my god, I've completely cocked this up.